Richard, you're there. Tell us about these web cameras and why they're being deployed.
Well, in December, after big protests broke out against vote fraud in the December parliamentary election, Vladimir Putin, the Russian leader. Sorry?
Problem there. We seem to be having a bit of a sound problem with Richard.
Hello?
Can you pick? Oh, great. There you go. Thank you, Richard.
Yes.
Okay, so back up a little bit. This is all happening ahead of some elections.
Yes. These web cameras are being installed all over the country at 91,700 polling places because Vladimir Putin, the Russian leader, thought that they would prove that Russian elections are transparent and open. This was a response to the big street demonstrations that broke out in December after evidence of fraud in the parliamentary elections.
How much is being spent on this technology?
They spent $447 million to install these cameras and lay hundreds and hundreds of miles of cables and bring internet access to places that didn't have them.
Okay, and the idea here is to present some transparency for these elections. Now, there are still some critics of this and saying it's not enough. What are they saying? What exactly needs to happen to make sure these elections are truly transparent?
Well, the critics of the Kremlin are saying, look, you have to put poll watchers in as many of these places as possible to catch the fraud, because anybody trying to stuff ballot boxes or falsify the count is going to figure out how to do it off the camera.
Now, we understand there's also a mobile phone application that's been developed so that people can report violations. Is that the case? How does that work?
Yeah, there's all kinds of initiatives like that. This is one example. A Moscow programmer named Alexei Chistokoyev developed this iPhone app to allow poll watchers to report violations from the precincts directly to a call center organized by a civic organization called the League of Voters. So this is a way of quickly getting these reports of violations to a central location.
Now, there's a great quote in your story, and I won't try pronouncing the gentleman's name, but he says, "Do not touch the ballot boxes under any circumstances, even if an old babushka asks you to be a gentleman and help turn them over. It's a trick," he explained. "The election officials will say you stuffed it, i.e. stuffed the ballot box." Is that a real concern in this election of ballot box stuffing?
Yes, indeed. It's you know, both sides are trying to outsmart each other. Anyone trying to minimize the influence of these independent or opposition poll watchers is going to try to get them thrown out of the polling place. And the people training these poll watchers are warning them to look for any kind of avoid any kind of excuse that would get them thrown out, such as touching the ballot box. They're not supposed to do that. Mm-hmm. Well, what if an elderly person who is running the election asks you, an observer, to come up and, "Oh, please help me pick up this box"? Well, you know, this is the trap that they're being warned against. And there's plenty of evidence from the last election that many different pretexts were found to throw the independent poll watchers out of the stations.
Mm. It sounds all very, very intriguing. We will watch for your forthcoming reports on this, see how it all turned out. Thank you very much. Richard Boudreaux with the Wall Street Journal, coming to us live now from Moscow. We really appreciate that.